welcome back to this channel. So today we'll be doing a series of interesting videos. So this video is for people that do not have any form of background in computer science and want to come into tech. So these are people that do not even know what computers are. So stick with me and let's get started. So first, we should start with what we'll be making use of majorly as a software developer. So as a software developer, majorly you'll be dealing with computers. So let's start with computers. So what are computers? As simple as the term might seem, so many people think computers just refer to our desktops and our laptops. No. So a computer is any device that is capable of carrying out logical set of instructions. So let's say, for instance, your wristwatch. Your wristwatch has been programmed in such a way that every 60 seconds counts to be equal to 1 minute, and every 60 minutes counts to be equal to 1 hour. That means that it has been programmed somewhere. It has been given an instruction somewhere that it only becomes 1 hour when the minute hand is equal to 60. I hope you understand that. So it does not necessarily have to be a laptop or a desktop for it to be called a computer. So your calculators, your digital cameras, your phones, your toys, your cars, anything that has the ability to carry out logical set of instructions are computers. So as a programmer, you do not just program for just your laptops and your desktop computers. You program for softwares that are going to be used in wristwatches, in phones, in calculators. Majorly, you program for computers. So I want us to get that straight. Computers do not just necessarily mean just our laptops and desktops. So since we know what computers are, so how do we give instructions to computers? Like we know, we just said now, they're just devices. Then how then do we talk to computers? Computers are not like humans that you can see and talk to them directly and give them instructions. So how do we give them instructions? We give them instructions by programming. A lot of us would have heard of the word programming, like people use it so well, like you've been programmed to do this, you've been programmed to do that. So what it necessarily means that you've been given, it's as if you've been given an instruction to perform a certain task. So that is exactly what programming is. So programming is the act of writing a set of instructions that guides the way a computer works. So as we know, we just said that computers are being programmed. So how really do computers hear human languages? I speak English. I am speaking English. My computer does not understand English. My computer does not understand. My computer only understands binary language, and binary language is just 0 and 1. So imagine me saying 0 1 1 0 1 1 0 0. I wouldn't make sense out of it. But for computers, they would perfectly understand what you are trying to say. So as for humans to be able to for humans to be able to give instructions to computers, then they have to learn programming languages. So what are programming languages? Programming languages are high-level languages that programmers use to communicate the set of instructions they want to give to computers. So you'd have heard of Java, C++, Python, JavaScript, Kotlin, C#, all of that are all programming languages. From research, it has been established that we have about 591 programming languages in record. I'll drop a link to at the end of this video where you can read more on these programming languages. So who writes a program? As you know, humans do not let's say, for instance, I speak English. If I were to go to Spain and want to relate with people in Spain, I have to carefully learn their language and understand their language in order for me to be able to communicate with them effectively. It is also the same with computers. For humans to be able to write programming language, they have to be skilled in the act of writing the particular language they want to write. So programmers are people that write programming languages. So a programmer is a person who writes softwares or programs for computers. By the way, programs are also referred to as softwares. So you hear people saying that there's a software, there's a gaming software, there is there are different types of software actually. So what they necessarily mean, what they actually mean is that there is a set of instructions that have been made to perform certain duties, let's say a gaming duty and all of that. So you see me using softwares and you see me using programs. Software is the same thing as programs. They are all set of instructions that guide a computer on what to do and how to do it. So programmers are sometimes referred to as coders and referred to as developers and web developers, software engineers, programmers, and coders. Essentially, they are professional people in the skill of that has the skill of writing one or more programming languages. But you would ask me, computers do not understand programming languages too. They do not understand programming languages. The only language they understand are binary languages. And binary language are just my binary language is just 0, 1. It's just comprised of 0 and 1, 0 and 1. A human will not make sense out of that. And a computer, it will perfectly make sense to a computer. But if you give a computer, if you directly write a program for a computer without using a means of communication with the computer would not understand the programming language you are the instruction you are trying to give to it, but they do not understand programming languages. Programming languages are high-level languages that humans have used over the years to communicate with computers. Then do all of these languages get translated to computers to be equal to 0, 1, 0, like to be equal to be binary languages. So we use compilers. So compilers are softwares, like programs that are also specially written to translate programming languages to computer languages, to machine codes. So compilers are majorly, most of our browsers come with compilers, our text editors, they come with compilers. They basically are like the middleman between the high-level language, which is a programming language, and a machine language, which is the binary code language. That's the language of the computers. So get it right. Programming languages are languages that are used by developers, by coders to give instructions to computers, but they do not necessarily mean that computers understand programming languages. Compilers come in between the two and translate these programming languages to machine code, that is binary language that the computer actually understands. So how do programmers write programs? In order for you to be able to program, you need to learn how to code. So coding, so what is coding? Coding is the act of actually talking to computers directly, because I can have a set of instructions in my mind. Let's say I have a particular solution to an issue. Let's say I want to create a software that is able to recognize hands whenever a sign language is placed in front of the monitor. I have the idea in my head, but I need to be able to code it out on a system before it is actually translated to the computer, so that the computer would know what I intend to do. So coding is the act of giving instructions to computers, like actually writing things down for the computers to be able to understand what you mean. So programmers write programs through coding. So basically, coding is how we communicate to computers. Thank you for sticking around to the end of this series. From this series, we've been able to get the following key points from this lesson. So we've been able to establish what computers are. We now know that computers do not necessarily mean laptops and desktops. We know the concept of programming, the act of giving instructions to computers, and we understand that humans do not just write high-level languages such as JavaScript, Java, Kotlin, and all of that to computers, and computers understand directly. No, these programming languages have to pass through compilers that in turn convert these high-level languages to machine languages. So, and we know what coding is. Coding is the actual act of writing down these instructions by using your computer to write the set of instructions you want to actually give out to the computer. Thank you, and see you in the next series, where we'll be talking about software development, and the key players and careers in software development, who earns most, and the most promising of all the software engineering professions, like the most promising of all the key players that are involved in software development. See you in the next series. Thank you.